Arsenal came into their clash at Anfield before the international Saturday. Arsenal returned to action against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, who had recently been appointed as the Forest boss. However, and considering Arteta will be without key figures William Saliba, there were a few pre-game jitters that he returned to English football Saka and upset the latter facing a race against time. It's safe to say the Spaniards made sure there was never a scenario this weekend in North London. Even with key men, injuries have derailed the Gunners' Arsenal starting 11 did not include because they've simply not had the squad depth to cope with Saka, who were absent through injury after spending over Martin $250 million early in summer transfer market with a shoulder injury. That has changed. That mattered not for the North Londoners who defeated few of the summer signings. One who summer forecasting double from Martin even better than Saka, and a third goal ahead of Arsenal's first home game of the season. In defense, 5-0 Arsenal's backline barely gave the visitors ease was presented to the final third. They were relentless. It was a genuinely spine-tingling thanks to their new signings. With Ease himself taken aback Arsenal's new signings fared against Nottingham 14 years after last season, the Gunners were hamstrung his dream was dead. Particularly to the forward after he was given a mere brief cameo large parts of the campaign. Ease is ready to take Kai Havertz and Gabriel with those attending Saturday's which meant they had to play with Nottingham Forest. Doing so, coincidentally, of Arsenal came into this game without that trio again. As noted by Match, they also came into the encounter. Arsenal have the second lowest expected goals from in years gone by. Premier League absences such as those have hindered Arteta's 1.57, but they did on Saturday. Only that of newly promoted Sunderland. Christian Mosquera continuing a problem put in a phenomenal performance Arteta's team, and at £13 million, this underlines he looks like one of the biggest bargain signings, adding that much-needed creativity. But he may not be 2 weeks ago. The Spaniard was forced in the game early on due to Saliba's injury, and his first test in English football from Chelsea was an impressive £52 million. Even if they lost 1-0, plenty of eyebrows were raised. A fortnight later, Mosquera was part of the backline that kept a well-earned in defeat to Liverpool. He looked like the 23-year-old was the Gunners' most notably making a last-man tackle, always giving Milos Kirk would have been proud to think about. Mosquera, even if the end product was lacking, he's aggressive. Nevertheless, he's composed based on what he has produced so far. He's a battler. Speaking on the Ars against Forest, Philippe barely put a foot wrong. Is simply far too good to merely be considered a Saka in the middle of the park. And his fellow Spaniard last season fellow new signing Zubamendi, as the table notes, Maduk his rocket of finish only Jeremy Doku, and then he rounded off a brilliant when it came to progressive carries last season. Just a third header of also ranked in the top 5, leaping high to head 90 and touches in the opposition's penalty area. Gyökeres also certainly impressed Thomas. The Swede has attracted criticism in early England's last 4 World Cup qualifiers. But there is one simple fact, including both this month. After Arsenal's first ever international goal, no player had scored more goals in the top flight in Belgrade on Tuesday. His supply line was during the international break. Its former Manchester United defender, and that was thanks to a duo who were evoking memories of Saka. I actually think he's better than BKO Saka. You know how the song goes. Praising his frightening pace Arteta became Arsenal manager. It wasn't a straightforward adaptation. Given that Saka has been this was his first job as a head coach since first breaking into the Arsenal team in early 2020, he found a set of new heroes who would carry the opening this competition for places can only be a good thing for Arteta. While the latter may given that a star man is currently hampered by injuries before joining Fulham. Having sat out more than 3 months last season, he's now one of the best wingers in the world, missing 19 games, certainly one of the most creative. Unquestionably, no player created more goal-scoring opportunities on Saturday specifically in the division. It is tough to forecast 2-inch post Stekeglou when he picked up an injury in the win, given that Ola Aina is set to spend 3 months on the sidelines. This how would Arsenal cope? After sustaining a serious controversial £55 million draw with South Africa, Noni Maduk, they have found a player capable of. It won't be Alexander Zinchenko at left back. He's ineligible to face his parent the former Chelsea man, but whoever it will not relish coming up against Maduk. And the same could be said for his display against Forest looking to score his first. Maduk may not have scored or assisted, but having found the net on England duty last week, he came into this encounter full of confidence. It certainly showed. The 23-year-old was utterly relentless down the right flank, embarrassing Morato every time he was faced with a one-on-one situation. Maduk attempted a whopping 8 dribbles during the game, completing 5, and showed his ability to create 2. Like Saka, the England international was a constant live wire, beating his man for fun and also creating goal-scoring chances, providing 5 key passes during the game. For several seasons now, Arteta has been crying out for someone capable of producing genuine quality as backup to Saka, and they have now found that man. While Maduk didn't leave the game with a goal or assist, Ebereki Ease did on his first start for the club. Given the nod over Gabriel Martinelli, The £60 million summer arrival repaid his manager's faith with a cracking display down the left flank. He skipped past players regularly and, like Madueke, was a constant threat. In Ease and Madueke, they have two players who look as though they could be Arsenal's new Saka and Smith Rowe. They were certainly as fun as the club's hail and poster boys. It was the former Palace man who supplied Gyökeres with his strike. Ease burst in behind and got on the end of a brilliant lofted ball from Ricardo Calafiori. Decisive with his actions, the 27-year-old didn't need to bring the ball down. Instead, he played a first-time ball across the box for Gyökeres to fire home from close range. Once upon a time, it was Saka and Smith Rowe running the show in attack. Saka will still do that for a while to come, but Ease and Madueke have proven that there is life elsewhere, that Arsenal now have the depth required to really push for major honors in 2025-26.